Coming to, so as I told, like we will elaborately discuss about the GSTR 1 and the 3P. So coming to the GSTR 1, so what is the GSTR 1? Definition is as follows. See, GSTR 1 is a written to be furnished. GSTR written is a written to be furnished for reporting details of all outward supplies of the goods and services made, and also for reporting the debit and credit note issued, any amendment to the sale invoices made even pertaining to the previous tax periods. So GSTR 1 is typically an unwritten where we will report the first accept it is all outward supplies of the goods and services made, and the second we will cover the reporting the debit and credit note issue, and third will be any amendment to the sales invoices. So GSTR 1 is typically contains an outward all items related to the outward supplies, where like original invoices or any debit or credit note issued related to the original invoices, or any amendment to made to the sale invoices. Okay. The next will be, who should file the GSTR 1? Who should file the GSTR 1? Every person, okay, every person who is registered under the GST is required to file a GSTR 1. But there are certain exceptions that we already know. The first will be an input service distributor, because the input service distributor has to file in a GSTR 6 on a monthly basis, so they will not file in a GSTR 1. And the suppliers of the online information and database access or retrieval of the services who have to pay the tax themselves, they need not required to file GSTR 1. And third will be a composite dealers. The composite dealers are going to file CP08 on a monthly and the GSTR 4 on an annual basis. That is why they want other funds to file. They are given an exemption to not to file in the GSTR 1. And the non-residential tax person, non-resident taxable person has to file in GSTR 5 on a monthly basis. And the last item will be a taxpayer liable to collect the TCS and also a TDS. They are on a different forms to file. That is, they are not required to file in the GST 1. So every person who is registered under the GST has to file except a few of items. These exceptions given because they have other alternative forms to, instead of GST 1 they will file in other forms. Okay. The next study. Due date for the filing of the GSTR 1. So one should very keen to understand the due date for the filing of the GSTR, and is very important thing, because if you not file within the due date, you will end up with a late fee and the penalties, and also the late fee and the penalties. So you take a turnover. Okay. The turnover of the previous year of an registered taxable person, if it's less than the 1.5 crores, if it's less than the 1.5 crores, if it's less, then he has to file on the quarterly basis, and the due date will be on 13th of the next month of the following the quarter. Take an example of the Q1 of the financial year 2021. We start from the 1st April 2021 to the ended with the 30th June 2021. So have to file on the 13th of the July of the 2021. And if it's in a turnover, if the less than, if it's more than 1.5 crores, he has to file it on the monthly basis. The due date will be in 11th of the next month. You take an example of an April 2021, he has to file on the 11th of the May 2021. And there is a one important, the turnover which is less than the 1.5 crores. Okay, it is an optional given to a taxpayer. He can opt for a quarterly or he can opt for a monthly. If it's okay to file it on a monthly, he can very much go on the monthly basis. He need not do on a quarterly basis. But turnover is more than 1.5 crores, it has to be mandatory, has to file on a monthly basis. So whatever the turnover, it's less than 1.5 crores, it is an option given to the taxpayer. He can opt for a quarterly or monthly basis. But turnover is more than 1.5 crores, has to file on a monthly basis. So what will be the late fees and penalties if you not filed on a GSTR return within the due date? For the normal returns, it is 50 rupees per day of the default. If it is a nil return, there is no sales made, that is a nil return, there is no outward supply of the services, goods and services, has to pay 20 rupees per day of the default. So we're computing the late fee and penalties, whether we need to see whether it's a nil return or not. If it's a nil return, the penalty, the late fee and penalty is reduced to the 20 rupees per day. And if it's having an outward supply of the goods and services, if he's having some turnover when he is filing the return, he has to pay like 50 rupees per day of the default. And the next thing, how to revise the GSTR 1? Like when you come across to the income tax return, we will file the personal return, and if you find that any changes that you want to do, there is an option called within the prescribed time, we can go and we can revise over the personal return. So there is an option was available in the income tax return. Everybody having a doubt, if I made a mistake in the any GSTR 1, whether I can an option to revise the personal return. But unfortunately, there is no option. The return once filed cannot be revised. There is no concept of the revised return in the GST. So now everybody having a doubt how to correct the mistakes was made in the earlier periods of the GSTR 1. The possible way for doing any correction for the mistakes made in the earlier month is in one way. We can't go back to the original return. Take an example, if you're filing for a month of April 20, you made any mistakes, and the month of May, you have realized that the mistake has done. So on the April, on the May, we can't go to the original return which was filed in the April 21. So obviously, what we need to do, whatever the mistakes that was made, the impact of the mistake, you can very much given the May month when you're filing in a GSTR 1, and then you can file the GSTR 1 for the May month accordingly. You take an example, let's say you made in a sales of the 100 lakhs. You made in a sales of 100 lakhs in the April month then. But you now make it is when you're filing in a GSTR 1, you made it is you undisclosed the 90 lakhs, you undisclosed the 10 lakhs, and you are put it to the GSTR 1 as 90 lakhs, you undisclosed the 10 lakhs. So you have reported to the GSTR 1 as 90 lakhs, but your actual figure it is 100 lakhs, okay. There is a shortage of the 10 lakhs that you have missed. Maybe like your accountant maybe not properly when he is reviewing. So he mistakenly mentioned it's 90 crores, and then you have filed the GSTR 1, and later when the management has reviewing it and in the month of the May, they have noticed that the April month the sales, whatever outward sales it is 100 crores is there 100 lakhs out 90 lakhs. So the 10 lakhs, whatever the deficit which was arising in the April month needs to take in consideration in the May month when you are filing. Suppose the May month, if the sales were 150 lakhs, so what you do when you're reporting in the May month, so we will report as a May month 150 lakhs and also the 10 lakhs that you missed out in the April month. So total turnover you report in the May month it is 160 lakhs. So this is only the option So we can correct the mistakes made in the April month, previous earlier periods.